June 13, 2025. Makiyivka, occupied Donetsk region. A Russian military convoy. 3 buses packed with troops, 2 military trucks, maybe 50 soldiers total, rolls down Avtotransportnaya Street toward the front lines 20 miles away. They don't know they're being watched. High above, a Ukrainian reconnaissance drone traces their every move. The operators have maybe 5 minutes to make a decision. Because in modern warfare, 5 minutes is an eternity. And a death sentence. What happens next won't just destroy this convoy. It will reveal how $500 hobby drones have fundamentally broken the rules of 21st century combat, and why every military on Earth is now scrambling to catch up. To understand this moment, we need to go back to February 2022. When Russia invaded Ukraine, the world expected tanks, artillery, and fighter jets to dominate. And for a while they did. But something else was happening in Ukrainian workshops, garages, and tech labs. Engineers, gamers, and volunteers were repurposing first-person view racing drones, the kind hobbyists fly through obstacle courses, into weapons of war. These aren't the Predators or Reapers you see in movies. An FPV drone costs as little as $400. It weighs a few pounds, can carry a small explosive payload, and it's piloted in real time by an operator wearing goggles, seeing exactly what the drone sees, like a deadly video game. By 2024, Ukraine was producing over 1.5 million FPV drones annually. Russia scrambled to catch up, manufacturing 1.4 million of its own. The battlefield had become a sky full of eyes and weapons. And then there were the big guns. The American M142 HIMARS, High Mobility Artillery Rocket System. 6 GPS-guided rockets, fired from a truck with pinpoint accuracy up to 50 miles away. Each rocket carries a cluster warhead. Hundreds of thousands of tungsten fragments that shred everything in a kill zone the size of 2 football fields. By mid-2025, Ukraine had about 36 HIMARS left. They'd lost 4 to Russian. Back to June 13, 2025. The convoy was part of Military Unit 71443, Russian reinforcements heading toward the grinding meat grinder of the Donetsk front. They were moving through Makiyivka, a city under Russian occupation since 2022. It's an industrial hub, a logistics center, theoretically safer than the front line. But here's the thing. There is no safe in drone warfare. Ukrainian reconnaissance drones had been loitering over the area for hours. These aren't attack drones, they're the scouts. Small, silent, equipped with high-definition cameras and thermal imaging. Some fly at altitudes where they're almost invisible. Others hide near tree lanes, watching highways like hawks. One of these drones spotted the convoy forming up. 3 PAZ buses, military transports that can carry 35 soldiers each. 2 Ural trucks loaded with supplies. All in a tight column, moving slowly. To Ukrainian drone operators, this was a gift. And here's where the anatomy of a modern drone strike begins. Modern warfare isn't about soldiers shooting at each other anymore. It's about information, speed, and precision. Step 1. The reconnaissance drone locks onto the target and transmits real-time coordinates. In this case, the convoy was near an abandoned gas station on Avtotransportnaya Street, a known choke point. Step 2. That data is relayed to a Ukrainian command post, possibly using encrypted satellite communications through Starlink terminals, Elon Musk's satellite network that has become Ukraine's battlefield internet. Step 3. Commanders make a decision. Is this target worth a HIMARS strike? Remember, they have limited rockets. But a convoy this size packed with troops? Absolutely. Step 4. A HIMARS launcher, positioned somewhere in Ukrainian-held territory up to 50 miles away, receives the coordinates. The crew loads the M30A1 cluster munition rockets into the pod. Each rocket contains 182,000 tungsten ball bearings, designed to saturate an area with lethal shrapnel. Step 5. Fire. The entire process, from detection to launch, takes less than 10 minutes. This is what military analysts call compressing the kill chain. And it's why Russian forces have been suffering catastrophic losses throughout 2024 and 2025. The rockets travel at Mach 2.5, over 1,900 miles per hour. To the Russians on the ground, There's no warning. No time to scatter. No time to pray. Just a whistling scream, and then impact. The rockets travel at Mach 2.5, over 1,900 miles per hour. To the Russians on the ground, there's no warning. No time to scatter. No time to pray. Just a whistling scream, and then impact. The Makiivka strike wasn't just about HIMARS. It was about the ecosystem of surveillance, communication, and precision that drones have created. Let's talk numbers. By late 2024, Ukraine was deploying tens of thousands of FPV drones every single month. That's not a typo, tens of thousands. Some estimates suggest Ukraine is now producing 4 million drones annually. These drones are responsible for up to 80% of Russian battlefield casualties in certain sectors. They've forced Russian tanks to weld metal cages on top, so-called cope cages, and then weld more plates around the sides, turning armored vehicles into slow, blind turtle tanks. They've created 15-kilometer kill zones along the front lines where any movement is suicidal. They've hunted Russian artillery, destroyed supply trucks, and even intercepted other drones mid-flight. And then there are the technological leaps. When Russia started jamming GPS signals and radio frequencies, Ukraine pivoted to fiber-optic drones, physically tethered with cables that can't be jammed. When electronic warfare got too sophisticated, both sides started using AI-assisted targeting and autonomous guidance systems. In December 2024, Ukraine conducted the world's first fully unmanned assault, ground robots and FPV drones clearing Russian positions without a single Ukrainian soldier setting foot in the combat zone. This is no longer science fiction. This is the present, and it's rewriting every military doctrine on the planet. The Makiivka strike, like so many others, sent shockwaves far beyond Ukraine. Western military planners are watching this war like it's a live stress test for their own doctrines. In June 2025, Ukraine launched Operation Spiderweb, a coordinated drone assault on Russian airbases as far as Siberia, over 1,500 miles from the Ukrainian border. Dozens of small FPV drones, smuggled into Russia in fake rooftop containers on trucks, simultaneously struck multiple targets. American analysts at the Center for a New American Security wrote, "This drone ambush should trigger alarm bells for the U.S. military. Our bases could be equally vulnerable. Because here's the uncomfortable truth. The United States and NATO have nothing close to Ukraine's drone production capacity. Ukraine manufactures drones at a cost of $400 to $500 each. America's Reaper drone? $30 million. And it takes years to procure one. Meanwhile, China supplies 80% of the world's drone electronics, microchips, sensors, cameras, including components that end up in Russian drones. The supply chain is global. The battlefield is local, and the advantage goes to whoever can innovate fastest." Former Ukrainian Commander-in-Chief Valery Zaluzhnyi said it plainly in April 2025. "The wars of the future will be won by countries that focus on drones, electronic warfare, and artificial intelligence." The Russian-Ukrainian war has completely changed the nature of warfare. And he's right, because what happened in Makiivka wasn't just a tactical victory. It was proof that mass-produced, low-cost drones, guided by real-time intelligence and backed by precision artillery, can defeat traditional military formations. Every single time. It's easy to get lost in the technology, the drones, the rockets, the kill counts. But let's not forget, every strike is a human story. The Russian soldiers in that convoy in Makiivka, many were young conscripts. Some were mobilized from distant regions, Tatarstan, Siberia, ethnic minorities sent to die in a war they didn't choose. Their families will never know exactly how they died, just that they're gone. And the Ukrainian operators who called in that strike, they didn't celebrate. They filed a report, updated the target list, and moved on to the next one. Because there's always a next one. This is the grinding, dehumanizing reality of modern war. Drones make killing efficient, but efficiency doesn't erase the weight of it. By November 2025, Ukraine had identified 124 cases of Russian soldiers executing Ukrainian prisoners of war. Russia had lost an estimated 700,000 soldiers killed or wounded since February 2022, though exact numbers are impossible to verify. Ukraine's losses are also catastrophic, though less publicized. And the drones keep flying. The convoys keep burning. The war continues. Because here's the lesson of Makiivka and Kursk and Kherson and every other strike: technology doesn't end wars. It just changes how they're fought. The tanks and trenches of World War I gave way to the jets and missiles of the Cold War. And now we're entering the age of drones. Swarms of them, millions of them, controlled by humans or AI, reshaping the battlefield in ways we're only beginning to understand. The strike on that Russian convoy wasn't just another attack. It was a glimpse of the future. And that future is already here. On June 13, 2025, a Russian convoy rolled through Makiivka, unaware it was being watched. In less than 10 minutes, it ceased to exist. Not because of superior numbers, not because of better soldiers, but because of information, precision, and technology. The wars of the 21st century won't be won by the biggest armies. They'll be won by the smartest ones. The ones who can see farther, strike faster, and adapt quicker. And whether that future terrifies you or fascinates you, it doesn't matter, because it's already happening. And we're all watching.